Oh, thank you. Good evening. Welcome again to our 85th anniversary. A couple of announcements, and then we'll move into the program. One is some of you have bought raffle tickets. I don't know that everybody had the opportunity to do that, but we will be selling tickets through the balance of the evening. And let's do it. Ben, where are you, Ben? There, okay.
I got my cue.
It's very good. He'll be selling tickets through the end of the evening when we will draw the 50-50, and the beneficiary of the raffle will be the Wounded Warriors Project in Philmont. Wonderful program there. In addition to that, let's see, probably we'll go from there. We have if there is a cake someplace in the room, could we get that? Sergio has it. All right. 85 candles. No, we have actually 3 members of our club have birthdays today. 2 of them are here. Jack Howard is not. Will the one who just said wow stand up? There he is. And Charlie Bowden. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charlie, Bertie, and Jack. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you for inviting us.
As Phil said, thank you for inviting us.
Ready? That's our wish.
Hey, Charlie, do one at a time.
One at a time? Oh, one at a time.
No exceptions.
Happy birthday.
Very, very nice. We won't ask that. Okay. It's now my pleasure to introduce Tom Horn, who will be our Master of Ceremonies for what will be a wonderful evening. Looking forward to it.
I need to get myself organized up here first. Many notes for tonight, such a wonderful outgoing of encouragement of the club for its 85th anniversary program. First, I want to recognize all those people who are here for our Charter Day ceremony. But before I do that, this is a very special week for all of us. I don't know where you were on 9/11, but I certainly remember where I was. And I'd like for us to just observe a moment of silence for those who lost their lives on that day in our history, and may they never be forgotten. Amen. So, we have a number of guests here tonight, and if I miss you, my apologies. And you are welcome to get up and say, "You missed me," and say who you are, if I don't know you already. But it's difficult for me to see, given the vagaries of old age, people in the very back of the room. Let's see, we have Fred Anderson with us. Fred? There he is, way back there. Former club member, airline pilot, George Atwell, and Marianne Atwell. George, a former district governor and member of the Leesburg Town Council. Welcome back. Patty and Steve Bishop, who are now with the Daybreak Club, who are great members of this club for a number of years. I have Janice Bowden, Charlie's wife, who is right there. I have Marilyn Cumby, who's Andy's wife, who's right over here. Ellie Daly, who is Phil's wife, who is back over there. We have back with us Beck Dickerson, and Beck is a former member of this club. He was here last week, and it was such a good thing to see him last week. He's a well-known architect, and those of you who remember the old county office building that lay on the courthouse grounds, Beck's architectural firm was responsible for that design of that building, and did a lot of work around town, and many of the buildings that you see are as a result of his work with Campster and Dickerson. Beck, it's nice to have you and your wife back. Priscilla Godfrey is with us tonight. Priscilla, welcome. Former member of the school board and former president of the Percival Club. Let's see, Keith Grayson. Welcome, Keith. Who's Katie Mann's partner? My wife, Tricia, who's right down here. Sherry Chrissa, Steve's wife, is here tonight. Michelle Martinson, my treasurer when I was president of this club. Michelle, her secretary. She wasn't my treasurer, she was my secretary. She's my right hand. And Michelle, a little bird told me that you have a big event coming up this weekend in your life. Next weekend. Well, congratulations. Can you tell us what that is?
I'm going to change my name to Cassuccio next Saturday.
Well, congratulations. Barbara Nunley, Warren's wife, is right over here. Jim and McLean Pumphrey. Jim was a former president of this club. He's back over here. Great friend and Barbara Rusciali, who is right down here, Phil's wife. Tech Russell, who's Wiley's wife, is back over there. Carol Story and Rich Story, who's our assistant district governor with David.
Thank you, and if I could just add one other thing. George has, and this is something many people don't know about, but we have a zone meeting, and you go from the districts to zones. Zones the big area. And George has won an award that only 5 people have won in the history of Rotary. Each year, okay. And George, if you could mention what that
George, tell us about it. You can come up here if you want.
No, I think I can say a very few words from here. And thank you, Rich, for such an introduction. As many of you know, I have been an advocate of polio eradication since Rotary began that marquee event in 1985. I've had the pleasure and the opportunity and the ability to go to 3 different countries for eradication, Egypt, and Nigeria. And it has been something that I have promoted and advocated all of these years. And the trustees of the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International has an award that they give to no more than 10 each year in the Rotary world. It's called the International Service Award for Polio-Free World. Now, I'm sure out of 1,200,000 Rotarians, there are many more out there who deserve this than I, but I've been significantly honored. And I might say while I've got the floor, Joe.
Yes, sir. You want the gavel too?
Give the district governor or past district governor a microphone. They can't say hello in 5 minutes. But I can certainly appreciate Mike inviting me tonight, because this is my home club. I was invited by this club in 1967 to become a member. I've been a member of Rotary ever since. T. Benton Smith was my sponsor, if some of you may happen to remember him, along with O.B. Knight, and Stanley Hawkins came to my school when I was a high school principal in Purcellville, and said, we would like to start an Interact Club in your school. And if we do, oh, by the way, we may invite you to join Rotary. That's the end of my story, and thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you for being here. Kate Williams, Fred's wife, is here. And Deborah Townsend. Now, Deborah, I understand that as executive director of the free clinic, there is a fundraiser that is coming up, and you'd like to perhaps tell us about that. And Ernie would also like to say that he has 3 tickets that he would like to sell to somebody with respect to that fundraiser. So can you tell us about that?
Thank you so much. I've been blessed to serve as the executive director of this beautiful care ministry. Dee Jonas has sponsored me to be here. Thank you, Dee. She's also been a volunteer position for us. We are led by 200 volunteer physicians. We care for everyone who falls through the cracks. When no one else will care for these patients, we care for them. And we're having our biggest fundraiser a week from Saturday at the National Conference Center. It's going to be truly a celebration, and it's just an honor, first and foremost, to be welcomed to this club. So thank you so much. And to serve in this area, in this role, is truly an honor for me. So we would welcome you to that event. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for all that you do. And Ernie, you do have 3 tickets.
I do. I have 3 tickets.
So if you are interested, Mr. Carnevale would be
Make you a
interested
deal.
in talking to you.
I'll make you a deal.
Make a deal. Is there anyone that I've missed? Pardon? Oh, Jim. Right here. Jim, welcome. I saw Jim over at Costco the other day. It's nice to have you back. Who else did I miss? Good. Well, this is Charter Night. And I have been delegated the task of being your master of ceremonies tonight, which is really an introducer for various people who are going to give you short 3-minute presentations regarding various aspects of Rotary. But before they do that, I need to lay a predicate for what we're doing tonight. We are celebrating the chartering of our club. Our club website, if you go to it, proudly proclaims that the chartering of the Leesburg, Virginia Rotary Club occurred on May 24th, 1927, as club number 2601. The charter presentation by the district governor and president of the Warrenton Club, which was our sponsoring club, was at the first meeting in July of 1927. And I will tell you that on May 24th, 1927, to put everything in perspective, was a Tuesday. That Sunday, preceding the chartering of this club, word reached this country that one Charles Lindbergh had landed after flying 55 and a half hours solo to Europe. The chartering club, Warrenton, was represented by Mr. J. Donald Richards. Those of you who don't know who J. Donald Richards was, I have very little knowledge of John Donald Richards, other than he was not only the special representative of Rotary, but he was in fact an attorney. So for all of you who are attorneys, our sponsoring representative was indeed a practicing lawyer in Warrenton. But now the plot thickens, and I'm going to have to call on some of you to volunteer to find out the conundrum that we find ourselves in. If you visit the Warrenton website for Rotary, which I did, and there's a nice picture of the Warrenton Club, it will tell you that the Warrenton Club was club number 2420. You've got to keep in mind we're 2601, so we're after 2420. It was chartered on October the 25th, 1926. The first president of that club was J. Donald Richards, who was an attorney who came as the sponsor for this club. But then it goes on to say the sponsoring club for the Warrenton Club was the Leesburg Rotary Club. I am not kidding. The same conundrum meets us when we think about chartering a club that was chartered in May, that had its first meeting in July, that we celebrate in September.